Okay, so welcome to our second lecture. Those who are just joining us for the first time, welcome. If you joined us via online, welcome to the second lecture. One of the most exciting courses that you would ever take, philosophical foundations of early childhood education. That which will make you to be a teacher of impact to the child, to the community. It gives you the rightful knowledge to handle little kids in terms of delivering the content of early childhood, in terms of understanding how to handle these children, in terms of the critical thinking and creativity aspect that you need to manage the children. So last time we were looking at aspects of the introduction and the objectives of the course or module, and then we also looked at what we're going to cover in the main content and the meaning, stroke concept of philosophy and its relationship with education. Okay? Maybe just in passing, what did we say philosophy is? From the etymological point of view. Yes, ma'am. We said that philosophy is the love of wisdom. How do we reach to a point of defining philosophy as love of wisdom? It comes from two Greek words, philia and sophia, or philos, sophos, or still Greek, philein, sophia, where the phi, los or philein, stands for love, and sophia, sophos, stands for wisdom. And so we define philosophy as the love of wisdom. Looking at its etymology, right? The root, etymology implies the root, or where the word is coming from, the terminology is coming from, the origin of the term. We give several examples of what it implies for somebody to be wise. And we also define now in a broader perspective of what philosophy is. Okay? So here we're saying philosophy is a very interesting field of thought which engages man to pursue and acquire knowledge at the highest level possible. What did that mean? How did you understand it? At the highest level possible. What do we mean? Knowledge at the highest level possible. This is a course that we are supposed to be interactive. Huh? Because I cannot judge your critical thinking if you are just looking at me, if you are just listening. We need to philosophize together. We need to engage into critical thinking, debate, arguments. I want you to understand the word, the terminology of argument, not in a literal sense of the word. Are we together? If I were to ask you, what do we mean when we say argue. What is to argue? Someone who understands it in a layman's language is going to say, arguing is exchanging of words with somebody. When I am angry, right? It means I'm arguing with you, right? In philosophical terms, that's not what we mean by arguing. It follows its own rules and regulations philosophically, which has to come with critical thinking, where we talk about formation of an argument. And in formation, we look at statements. If you remember very well what I said last time about formation of a statement, an argument, which needs to have first premise, second premise, a conclusion. Where if I said, right, Wezi is a beautiful girl. Okay, all girls are beautiful. Wezi is a girl. Automatically, the conclusion will be Wezi is. All girls are beautiful. Wezi is a girl. Therefore, Wezi is. So that's the argument that we talk about in philosophy. Not, no, why did you do this? You are stupid. No. The argument has to follow necessarily. By necessarily, this is what we mean. First premise, second premise, and the claim, which we call a conclusion. That we call an argument. Clear? Is there anything that you remember that we talked about? Madam, who about it? Kodesh. Chai! Kodesh! Not Kadesh. Kodesh. Oh, such a beautiful name. Kodesh. Where is it? Kodesh and? Wisdom. This class. You are a philosopher, my friend. The love of what? You get that? I don't just teach classes anyhow. I don't just teach students anyhow. They have a special connection. Kodesh. Where is wisdom? The philosopher king himself. Philosophy goes beyond what human eye can see. It goes beyond comprehension. It involves itself or an individual into aspects of perception. What is to perceive? When I look at something, I look at it beyond what I can physically figure out. When I look at this wood, I need to look at this wood beyond this wood. Are you getting me? When I look at this individual standing here, I need to look at beyond this individual that I'm looking, that I can touch, right? For example, when I'm moving like this, there's something behind me, right? What is it called? We call it a shadow, okay? Very beautiful, a shadow. Kodesh, it's called the what? Okay, very beautiful. Can you see that? I move my hand, my fingers. There is something which is moving at the same time. What can you say? Last time I asked a question, did I? About this. Which is real? If we are saying that we need to perceive in philosophy that which is real, because our sole purpose is to discover, is to study reality. This leads us to our today's lesson of the branches of philosophy. Last time we looked at the explanation of what the definition of philosophy is, explanation of philosophy and the concept of philosophy as a terminology. So today, let's continue looking at the branches of philosophy. Basically, we are going to concentrate on the 4 branches of philosophy. There are many branches in philosophy. That's what philosophers are, my friend. In the mind, we are saying you go beyond the physical. Hello? So if you are a philosopher, like wisdom, what have you written wisdom? Branches of?
Yes, sir.
That's wisdom now. All right. Branches of philosophy. So I was saying, when I put the hand like this, I am also see something behind the hand that is performing, that is acting. Which one is real between this hand and this hand? How sure am I, or how not sure am I, that behind this, which we are calling a shadow, there is also something which is moving? And how sure are we that behind this body that I'm seeing, there is also something invisible which is also performing the actions that I am performing? A question. Can we know reality? That is a question. Is it possible to know reality? Is it possible for me to say, this duster is real? Yes. Wisdom is real. When the mouth is doing yes, there is a shadow behind or aside you which is also doing some actions, but not producing sound. Which one is true? So philosophy has got several branches. For your own information, each and every discipline that people have ventured into study is as a result of la philosophie. Philosophy. If you talk about medicine, if you talk about mathematics, if you talk about geography, if you talk about, they are all springing from the philosophical aspects. History coming from the philosophical aspect. Everything that is as a result of philosophy. Today we're talking about Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras was a philosopher who came up with the theory of what? Pythagoras' theorem. So that's what we are saying. If we were to come up with branches of philosophy, it would fill up the whole world. Because we have a branch of philosophy called mathematical philosophy, scientific philosophy, or philosophy of science, morality or moral philosophy, which talks about ethics, the way people have to behave, applied ethics, medical ethics, and all those sorts of different kinds of branches of philosophy. Are we together? It is very interesting for me to engage into these philosophical jargons and endeavors. Now, before we get confused, we are not philosophers per se. Let me start with one branch of philosophy called metaphysics. Hello? So now, we're going to concentrate on, out of the many branches of philosophy, we will concentrate on 5. Are we together? Thank you. First one, metaphysics. So, in the usual way, as the philosophers, we're also going to look at the etymology of the term metaphysics. Metaphysics, as a terminology or a term, comes from 2 Greek words. Are we together? Metaphysics comes from 2 Greek words. One, meta. 2, physika. Wisdom. Yes. Wafikapo, you know. Meta and physika. Where meta means beyond. And physika or physika means the physical, the seeable. Hello? And so our definition for a metaphysics will be the study of what? Sure. That's a little weird connection now. The study of beyond physical. Beyond the physical. In the simplest sense, let's put it that way. Beyond the physical. Now, what does beyond the physical imply? We have not finished defining what metaphysics is. a very beautiful exercise that we're going to look at the end. What does beyond the physical mean? So this is what I was talking about when I was demonstrating my hand here. We are saying we need to go beyond what the eye can see. Hello? A metaphysician looks at an issue on the table and goes beyond the issue here. If you look at the lawyers, you present a case before them. They need to look beyond what? The possibilities of how they can defend that case. Even if you are wrong. There are cases where a lawyer has defended somebody who is wrong, but they win. Hello? Yeah. Why? Because philosophy deals with critical thinking. So if you cannot think beyond where I am thinking, then you lose. Right? And that is why even in the local villages, we have pointed out at certain people to say they are more wise than others. Wisdom. The way they interpret ideas, situations, cases, implies wisdom. To go beyond what the eye can see. And so the mind comprehends. Hello? Are we together? The mind comprehends. It's very beautiful. Yeah. Metaphysics implies the study of the ultimate principles of reality. The study of the ultimate principles of reality. And this is why we have to get our sense of it ultimate. What does the term ultimate means? In the definition, we talked about beyond. Are we together? To go beyond, to think beyond what is seeable, what is experiential, what is feelable. You understand, right? What is feelable, seeable, what I can see. Feelable, what I can feel, touch. It's feelable, right? Something physical, tangible. I need to go beyond. If we are talking about early childhood education, I need to see beyond the child. I need to think beyond the child. And so I am going to screen through like a scanner. Are you getting me? I scan through and see who this child is using the mind. It means I have gone beyond the child. And that going beyond the child will help me to know the child and understand the child, such that even when the mother or guardians drop this child into your hands and You are going to say thank you for bringing the child to the most rightful place, a clinic, a hospital, and I, being a surgeon, is going to operate upon him or her. If you have ever been to a preschool, when the parents are dropping their children, their kids, or their babies, in normal circumstances, many times you will find babies crying when their parents are going. Mommy, and then their parents will just they just dump the child into your hands, off they go. Why do they have such trust in you? Because they know that Kodesh is a rightful person to handle this child. And you know, you will see Kodesh receiving the baby very calmly, very happy, taking the child. Just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, when the parents are gone, the baby is busy playing, and even beating others. What has happened? What medicine? I have studied Tametafuzika, and I know how to handle the child because I go beyond what I can see. How do you? It depends how you treat the child that is going to make the child to either feel comfortable or feel uncomfortable. In metaphysics, we study the ultimate principles of what we call reality. Somebody went to a certain doctor at the hospital, one of the hospitals within the doctor. And when he reached to that doctor, the BP was very high. Okay? When the doctor saw that, he said, "Hey, Bamboy, you have driven all the way from wherever, coming here alone. Hey, you would have died. Your BP has gone very high." Admitted, pompo. I think two bucks and dead. You get the point? A comparative scenario of another doctor where another person went. Similar circumstance of the BP shooting. And when the other doctor saw the other patient and observed that the BP was very high, what did he do? He started talking to the man. So how have you come here? I drove. Okay. Did you drive alone? Yes. Meanwhile, he was treating the person. Okay. Okay. I think I have seen your face before. Do you have relatives in Mzuzu? What is your surname? I come from. Is it a Kwende? I know that place. I have relatives there. Meanwhile, I am treating the patient, having known that the BP has shot. I want to get. During the 1 hour that I am busy making him busy, I'm busy treating him, making him busy, the BP is doing what? One, I have made him feel at peace. I have made him to do what? To be calm. The technique matters on how to handle a child. I need to understand, first of all, a child just as the second doctor understood how to treat, how to handle first the patient and treat him in the due course. The other first doctor just hit the point on the neck or the head of the nail. Hey, you need to move fine. If you delayed, you would have died. Child. And then I need to do what? Instant admission. How a doctor treats a patient matters. Because a doctor can either save my life or finish it off. By the way he or she treats the patient, I can quickly heal depending on the way the nurse treats me, right? If you have heard other people say, I want to go and see that nurse now. I want to go and see that doctor, right? Why? The treatment that was given. How I wish I continue to be on the bed. Why have they discharged me? Treatment. So you go beyond the person you are seeing. Understanding. And so when we talk about metaphysics, we are saying we need, as teachers of these children, to go beyond what we can see in the child. So we are looking at how the child appears, the looks, right? What is the child mimic? Mamina. Mimic. You get that? Is the child scruffy like the other parents who just going to bring the child like that? A child poo-poos herself. Wee is on herself. And then if you are a teacher who say, or you're a bar, you understand what I'm talking about, yeah? Yeah. Or that kind of a teacher. Okay? When the parents come, they're going to find the child mercy. What are they going to say about you? Why? They know that I am trying to do what? To take care of the children, to understand the babies, the kids. And so I will do everything possible to keep them healthy, safe, and sound. That is what makes them to just dump the child there, off they go. They are safe, but the child is safe with you. So if you do not understand these qualities, and you just go into teaching, and you be faced with those challenges, you're going to have problems with parents. And you will not last long with parents and administration. Somebody who has the principle of metaphysics is going to think beyond, is going to act beyond what those who have not studied into that field cannot manage. Tameta, tafuzika, going beyond the physical, going beyond what the eye, the hand can touch, see, and feel. Are you following me? Is it making sense?
Yeah.
That's the field we are following. early childhood education development. Okay? It's very interesting, you know. So we need to think beyond. Thinking beyond implies critical thinking, critical reasoning, perceiving. To perceive is to sit down and look at the person, look at the child, start, you know, performing some mental gymnastics. You know, we have physical gymnastics and mental gymnastics. When you sit alone, you start reflecting upon something. Are we together? A girl disappoints you, right? And you don't understand where all this thing is coming from, right? And so when you think, you sit by yourself and try to figure out the reasons that have caused that breakup, you don't get it, right? And at some point you have like, what's happening to me? Because you have been thinking. Yeah? And reflect. It is similar in philosophy, in early childhood education, under metaphysics. So you sit, you look at the child, start studying the child, start looking at how the child behaves. And at a certain point, where you say, but why is this child behaving this way? You need to reach a point where you also say, yes, as you are standing and understanding the child. As teachers of early childhood, we understand children better than parents. We are supposed to understand the kids better than their own parents. Because nowadays, parents are at work, children are with us almost the whole day. So we know how to treat them with our techniques that we learn in philosophical foundations and other subjects or modules. And we know how to treat them. Because at a certain point, when you reach your third, fourth year, you're going to be given a student. You have to adopt a child and study the child and write a report for that child, which becomes like a case study. So already, once you're in this field, you're already good material for a good husband and a good father to your children. You're already good material for a good wife and a good mother to your children especially, because you will have been given the skill on how to handle children. Plus that case study that you're going to do on a particular child. That gives you the know-how of how to take care of kids. Is metaphysics making sense? The metaphysica. The study of reality. The study of the ultimate principles of reality. I go beyond reality. I think beyond reality. I do beyond reality. The metaphysica. Such that when I was talking about the finger here, the hand here, my shadow here, I am going to say, hello? I am going to say, what I see and touch and what I see as my shadow, and just look at, I am not sure which one is real. What is reality? Reality implies that which is in itself perfect and pure that which does not lose shape is real. In the metaphysical understanding, that which does not conform to deformity. Hello? Now, when you look at this body, right? If I hit myself here, I will feel pain. And if I hit myself so hard, I will be deformed, right? This body here does vanish. It does rot, right? If you put this body in the soil 6 feet, 12 feet, it's going to turn into soil. Is it real? You get the point? Is it real? But this thing here, can it be affected? Can we not say that what we are seeing behind this is what might be real? When a human being dies, when we are at the funeral house or the graveyard about to bury the person who has died, we are saying the person who has died. And the reference point is to be the body of Mr. Chintengo. The body of Mr. Chintengo. Where is Mr. Chintengo? You understand? Meaning that this body is not a persona. It's not a person. The person is that which we are referring to as Tubira. That La is the prosopon, the persona. And so which one is real between the body and what we refer to as the soul? So when I ask you, what is reality? And here we say the study of the ultimate principles of reality. What is reality? What is it that we call reality? That will help us understand the child. Questions? The meta, the physical, going beyond the physical. The study that studies the study of man beyond man, okay? The study of things beyond themselves is called metaphysics. Is that clear? And so here we say, the study of things beyond the physical, the metaphysical. Referring to the students, the metaphysical. Going beyond. Studying the ultimate principle, ultimate, beyond the things themselves. So if we are concentrating on studying the child, we need to study and see through and beyond, above the learner. Any question, Kodesh? Any question words? Any question words? Thank you. We go to the second branch called epistemology. Not very clear, right? Epistemology. Now, the same thing we are saying, metaphysics is the study of reality. Epistemology is the study of knowledge. But from the etymological point of view, let us say, epistemology comes from two Greek words. Again, metaphysics also comes from two Greek words. The meta, the physika. Epistemology, meta, and episteme and logos. Very beautiful. Very good. Epistemology comes from two Greek words. Two Greek words. Epistemology comes from two Greek words. One, episteme, two, logos. Where episteme means study of, where logos means knowledge. Logos. Episteme and logos. Logos is study of. Study of knowledge. So epistemology implies study of knowledge. Are we together? The question that follows now is study of what? Knowledge, right? Knowledge about what? We go back to metaphysics, the study of knowledge about what? The study of knowledge about reality. What is reality? Hello? So we have to ask ourselves questions until at a certain point where we have been convinced this is it. We're looking at the study of knowledge. Episteme and logos. Knowledge, study of. Therefore, epistemology is the study of knowledge. And so we are asking, the study of knowledge about what? The study of knowledge about reality. What is reality? That's what philosophy is supposed to do. Ask questions. And you will live long. I remember at a certain point, I just had that importunate aspect of asking questions and asking questions. And you feel good asking questions, you know. But no answers are coming out. By the way, philosophy, it helps us to find, it leads us into finding solutions to problems, right? But it doesn't, it's not a solution per se. It just helps us to find solutions to problems. The study of knowledge about reality, what is reality, episteme and logos, where episteme means knowledge, where logos means study of the study of knowledge. The study of knowledge about reality. What is reality? What is reality? Plato, one of the greatest philosophers of antiquity, stated that, gave the allegory of the cave. This is a theory that explains about knowledge acquisition. The allegory of the cave. I want you to follow me very well. Plato's allegory of the cave states that. Are you following me? So look at me, please. Where is it? I know that you hate me. Right? Thank you so much. So, there are men in this cave. Now we are assuming men, there is a cave, okay? And in this cave, there are men who have been tied up in chains, right? Throughout their lives. They have never been outside of that cave. And so, these men have lined up like this. All men, like the one standing with their hands behind chairs. Right? They are facing this direction. One direction. Are we together? Are you with me in that cave? God there. Where is he? So it's like you are dreaming. You are imagining. Okay? The men are like this, facing this direction. All of them. It's a cave. Behind them, there is only but an opening. Very small opening. Okay? Behind here, there's an opening. A door, should we say. When it is daytime like this, what happens? The animals and human beings and the trees are shaking, living beings moving. So when an animal or a human being moves, going this direction, we are seeing the reflection. Are we together? It has passed. So it is the scenario of a shadow. Okay? When the body moves, the shadow reflects. So the actual image or object moves, the shadow is reflecting, whereas we are in the cave. One day, this philosopher standing here asked the others, but friend, don't you think, is this which we are seeing, like, is it real? Is it not possible for us to come out of this? Like, I think I've been doubting. Is our life going to just be like this? The other friend said, my friend, I am okay here. Our forefathers were brought up like this in here. They died in here. We have been in here, and we are happy here. The guy was so much troubled to say, I think this could be possible, you know. Let me give it a try. So he started like checking, trying to see if it was a real handcuff or dying. But he just tried a little bit. It was possible that he was free. He told the friends to say, hey, look at me. I'm free. Can I help you untie yourself? Hey. Asking this one, say, my friend, I told you I'm not interested. I'm okay like this. So the guy said, hey, Chabuino, remain in your chains. And he did what? Made a U-turn to come out. As soon as he came out, what's the normal expectation? The sun is shining, driving. I have been in the not so much dark, but a room where there isn't too much light, right? So what's going to happen to my eyes? That reflection, the dimness, I'm not going to immediately see because my eyes have been used to a different vision. All right? So he had some flashes of light, he couldn't see properly, but with the passage of some minutes, he was able to like, okay? Adjust your eyes, man. Finally, So the shadows that I was seeing, so this is the real wisdom. He is feelable, he is touchable, he can move, like he can do this, and when he does an action, it is penny. I am in a different world. We have been in a different world. Hello? Going back to tell the friends that, hey, guys, this is what is out there. This is not a reality. Reality is outside there. Let's come out of this. This is a prison, man. The friends still insisted and refused and wanted to chew him alive. Almost in their chest with their mouth. Are we together? The story of the allegory of the cave ends here. What do we learn from this story? What do we learn from this allegory of the cave? There are people that have chosen to remain in the world of ignorance. Knowledge does not just come on its own. It demands you to explore it. It demands you to take a step into knowability. If you remain on the same level, what happens? I know what I know, and that is it. Are we together? And those are the men who are in the cave. They are comfortable there. They have remained there. All right? But the man who took courage to say, let me take a U-turn, that man was in chains. What did he do first? He tried to untie himself until he was free. It's only when you have untied yourself that you can take a turn around. Decision making. How to get it? Decision making. Episteme, logos, implies decision making that I am fed up of being in the cave, being in the dark of unknowingness. I want to know. I want to discover. Knowability implies what? An aspect of awareness of something. Right? What is to know? To become aware of something that I was not aware of. But it does not mean that that knowability does not exist. It demands me to take a step to discover things. And in this case, we are saying we need to take a step to discover a child, to understand a child. Hello. Episteme, logos. Sometimes we have lived in a state where we are too comfortable that it is okay to be where I am. It is like a farmer in the village who is so comfortable that our forefathers have been doing farming from long time ago. Who are you to come and tell me to change this business? I'm comfortable here. And they remain at a subsistence level, and they are comfortable with that. But there are others who are going to say, I think let me try other ways of how to make money, how to do business. And those are the people who do what? Prosper, who progress. So knowledge is like a gamble of business. The more you invest in knowing, the more you know. What are you here? You are paying. Huh? You are paying a lot of money for you to what? To discover things that you want to be specialists in. I bet you, from last week that you started learning this, I don't think you are the same. If you are the same, then you are that one who has remained in the cave under the chains. Right? The aspects of knowability, epistemology, implies that I need to take a step into going to the library, going on the internet, asking people, studying children, so that I can be well versed in philosophical foundations of early childhood education. The foundation of every president, every lawyer, every doctor, every professor, every successful business person is in early child care. Once we have the needed knowledge to understand the child, to study the child, then we are going to make the best child, or we are going to make the best person later on in life in that child, from that child. We have a lot of disgruntled boys and girls nowadays who cannot follow their parents' rules and regulations, institutional rules and regulations. Why? The foundation. That's what we're talking about. philosophical foundations of any childhood education. We need to pamper the knowledge into you so that you can also pamper that good knowledge into the others. This is a process of knowability. The more knowledge I acquire, the more useful I become to society. And in this particular case, this is a special society that we are looking at, a special environment that we are looking at. The environment of the child. College. Come together. Questions? We said it's an interactive. Now, I need at least one question from you. Epistemology. Yeah. Epistemology. So here we're saying this is the branch of philosophy that concerns itself with the study, scientific study of knowledge. It follows procedures. That's why it is called scientific. It follows the stages. That's why it is called scientific. Not that I will go into the library and the studying of the child when you adopt one, there are stages that will be put so that you understand that child. Those procedures is kind of an experiment. Where in experiments we also follow procedures, scientific procedures, and that's what qualifies this study of epistemology to be scientific. Proper stages and procedures are followed in order to study the child so that we can understand the child. It is a science of validity or truth value of human knowledge. Knowledge is knowing without doubt. Hello. Knowing without doubt. That is knowledge. And that is why I was asking you. If you were able to see the shadow here and you were seeing me here, which one is real? Doubt. If you were able to say, after this life, I go to heaven, which I do not know whether it really exists or not, or whether it's there or not, where somebody has gone and not come back, how sure am I? We are talking about the science of validity. Something I am able to prove. This is it. Without any doubt. Without any question marks. Hello? And that is why you have seen other people who live a very peaceful, good, successful, hard-working life, but don't go to church. Very successful. What's the problem? And those who are always every day like this, very suffering, impoverished, and the others are taking advantage on them. If you do not bring any common that you have in your the devil will can't, God will counter you. Meanwhile, I'm living a luxurious life myself. At the fence, at the gate, there's even a police officer, a soldier, a guard, and dogs all over, so that you who has helped me with the little that you have does not have access to entering my gate. This is the life we are living in. And so, if you do not use your senses, your mind, you always remain poor. Hello? I'm not trying to. This is a philosophical lesson. Are we together? The aspect of philosophy does not aim at investigating the nature of the human mind and its facilities. Rather, it proposes to investigate the mind's activities, which is designated by the term knowledge. When we're talking about the knowledge of truthfulness, without doubt, how do you explain our existence? Plato believes in the deductive kind of knowledge, where we get the truth. The belief of the unknowing nature to the knowing nature. We have asked ourselves questions about where do we come from? Who made me? Who made my father? Who made the father of my father? Who made the father of my father of my father? Who made the There is a chain of questions that we will ask ourselves. And who made the one who created our father? In philosophy, we say the supreme being. Who made the supreme being to exist? And at a certain point, we say the supreme being cannot be created. Is that possible? Where something which is into being has not become itself. Hello. There's something which has always been there. How possible is that? And in Christian terms, they will even shatter your mouth and say, hey, don't question that. Why shouldn't I question? In the religious terms, don't question how you will die. Wait. That's what makes us philosophers. Because we have a lot of questions in our minds and we want to know the truth. So if the truth is not justified, if the knowledge that we call knowledge has got plenty of question marks, then it is not true. Questions? Epistemology poses questions such as, what is knowledge? What do we mean when we say know? What does it mean to know? And it depends what you know about it. Since you are not answering my questions, since you are not asking my questions, let's go to the third branch of philosophy, called logic. This is the mother of philosophy. In most terms, I do call it like that. It covers a lot of areas that involve what critical thinking, what reasoning is, what knowledge is all about, what issues of perceiving, going beyond thinking, going beyond looking at an object, logic. If you have heard of someone say, you are very illogical, does that sound like an insult? If I told you to say you are very illogical and you are doing more things, what? It's not good, right? Is it good? I don't know because I don't know what logic means, right? Very good. You have to say now. So please don't trouble me with those big philosophical terminologies. Okay? Logic, in simple terms, is the study or critical thinking. It is a science that which treats the operations of the human mind in its search of truth. It is a science which treats the operations of the human mind in its search for truth. It's a science which treats the operations of the human mind in its search for truth. Okay? Now we need to understand what truth is. It is an act, logic, of reasoning, and it directs the operations of the mind in the attainment of truth. In the attainment of truth. So logic aims at finding out, leading somebody into truth. It can also be seen as a study of the methods and principles used to distinguish good or correct from bad or incorrect reasoning. So if I give an example to say, all men are drunkards, wisdom is a man, therefore wisdom is a drunkard. The statement, the argument is going to be correct. Are you getting me? But now we go to the normal circumstances. That is just playing with words. But under normal circumstances, are all men drunkards? According to the scenario that we are seeing now, are all men drunkards? Okay. So we are going to say all men are foolish. In the argument, yes, it will be correct that all men are foolish. But under normal circumstances, are all men foolish? No. You get that point? So now, we normally look at detection of errors. That is why, if you have ever heard of the 10 fallacies in philosophy, a fallacy. Fallacies. When we were in our first year philosophy class, our seniors used to refer to us as students who cry fallacies. Anything, it's a fallacy, it's a fallacy, it's a fallacy. Very beautiful. Because we had studied different categories of fallacies. Like fallacy of generalization. Are we together? This one which says, oh, it's a fallacy of what? Generalization. It may not necessarily be true that all ladies have got long hair. But in the argument I'm going to say, all ladies have got long hair. Kodesh is a girl. Therefore Kodesh has got long hair. But in the actual sense, is Kodesh's hair long? Look at it now. Fallacy of generalization. What is a fallacy? A fallacy is an error in reasoning. Is somebody with me? An error in reasoning. Can somebody explain what an error is? How would you differentiate between an error and a mistake? Error, mistake. Tandem? Who is going to answer me, please? Who is going to talk to me, please? At least you can explain one. Just explain one. What is a mistake, right? Okay, start with an error. Something that does not exist completely. Okay. How could you make that silly mistake? And sometimes we have even referred to, how could you make that big error, right? Do we understand what we're talking about? So you can explain the two by looking at the way they relate. You can differentiate the two looking at the way they relate. When I give an example to say, women are weaklings, already what comes to my mind is a conviction that all women are weak and all men are strong, right? Do you agree with me? If I were to stand with Kodesh or Wednesday, it's a fight, right? In your mind, as you are watching, the fight is beginning now, right? Who has won? Before we start throwing punches, in your mind, who has won? I've won. Right? Why? It's been a long conviction that men are strong and they can punch and no woman can compete with a man. But is it true that she cannot beat me? How do I know maybe she has got martial arts? And I don't know any martial art of himself. Are you getting the point? Has it never happened that some men have been hammered, beaten by women? Like serious fight, did a man down. We have seen that, right? But it's a general perception that women are weak. And that is why, for long, before the issues of human rights, 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights, women have been suppressed, were suppressed. By then, we did not have feminist movements to defend the rights of women. Nowadays, at least, we have all the movements to protect, promote the rights of those that have been called for so long as weaklings. Those that have been referred to for so long as they cannot own land, women, girls, cannot go to the highest level of education. Today we have majority of girls in most universities doing different programs. What has changed? The attitude has changed. So an era is coming in where it's like this perspective cannot be changed in our mind. It's been fine-tuned like that, and we believe it. Even now that we have feminist movements, we have human rights activists in our mind. Still, when I look at a lady, even if she looks very physically fit, like I cannot accept that she can beat me up. In my mind, I cannot accept that ways he can become a head teacher. Like, you understand? Even if she's a head teacher or director, in my mind it will still be like, any mistake she makes, Asma, right? Women. I see a lady driving. If she's driving slowly, I am in her hands. So it's a lady. Unfortunately, it should be the lady. It should be a lady. They say, women. It's where? In the mind. That is an error. We cannot change. So an error is something that is difficult to change. It's been permanently inserted in our minds. Whereas a mistake is something which can be corrected. You cannot change an error. You can change a mistake. Okay? Is that clear? That of what how you doing? Sorry, it was a mistake. It's fine. That one. Sorry. I won't do it again. That one. It's a mistake. Right? But an error, sure. That is why a man is able to go back to a woman and say sorry. And then they get together again. Because it was a mistake. An error we cannot change.
But you discover a mistake after.
Hello?
You discover a mistake after an error.
You discover a mistake after an error. Is that possible? Just fine. Yeah, it is possible to discover a mistake after an error. How do you just find that? Are you going to say, it was a mistake to think that you cannot perform this, right? You get it? It was a mistake that to think that you cannot work underground in the mine. Look, she's performing the machines underground. It is possible to discover a mistake after an error. Okay? As humble and beautiful as she is looking, immediately I look at her, wow, she's so good. She is a good mother. She can make a good mother just by the looks because she's a lady. Right? But to hear that, that girl killed someone, killed a man. Child. How do you interpret that? It was a mistake. She can change, right? Deceptive looks. Why did I immediately refer to you as, wow, so beautiful, and she looks innocent and emotional? Why? Because we have put it to say all women are emotional. But is it true that all women are emotional? We have taken it generally as an error to say, women are emotional and men are emotionless. An error. There are also other men who are very emotional. like me. Are we together? So this is what we are saying, that logic deals with examination of the conscience. Is this really true or not? And so in trying to find out, is this really true or not, what do? You examine it. And in examining, there are processes. Of reasoning, critical thinking, and evaluation. Logic is a science which treats the operations of the human mind in its search for truth. In epistemology, we were talking about, in metaphysics, we were talking about reality. Right? The study of the ultimate principles of reality. And in epistemology, we are coming in to say, what is reality? Are we together? What is real? What is reality? And in logic, we are saying attainment of the truth. And so, that which is real is that which is true. Watching how we move it. That which is real is that which is true. That's what I'm saying. It is very difficult to justify most of the things that we do on earth because we do not know whether it is true or not. At least there you can bear with me. You will not tie my hands with our different beliefs. That's why they are different beliefs. If there was truth in whatever we do in our different whatever, then we would have had one church. One. But because we do not know the actual truth, I am going to stand up and come up with my own church. And I would want to bring everyone to my own church because I feel this which I believe it is the truth. It's just a matter of a gamble where I even have to win everybody to my party if it is in politics, right? Everyone, I need to convince you to come to me. You need to think in the way I am thinking. So I bring you in my mind. So that you can think the way I am thinking. So who is true? Is it you who is true? Because I also have got my own mind too. I can also start create an idea that I have to convince everybody. Right? Which one is true? Logic is an act of reasoning and directs its operations of the mind in the attainment of the truth. Just in the attainment. Not of truth, but in attaining what? Truth. So it is a process. It's a journey where I have to attain truth. But whether I am going to reach to that truth or not, I do not yet know. Questions? Ask now. Anything. If you are not following, it's very difficult to understand philosophy. It's a subject that needs you to follow. But it's very simple. Only when you are following and asking questions where you do not understand immediately, then you will move with me. Then we will move together. Otherwise, what you always say is, I'm a zita, I'm a ta. Nanga imoyo. You can also ta. But once you miss it out, you will not tap. And so where you feel you have missed out, ask. As believers, I will say, ask and it shall be given unto you, right? Yeah, at least now I've joined your crew as a believer. Ask and it shall be. Yes, I'm a very serious believer. Where you are seeing me now? I'm a philosopher. Our philosophers, not believers. We are confused. Are you saying we are confused people? No. Mad in the truth. You understand, right? Mad in the truth. Constructive madness. You ask, does constructive madness exist? Yes, it exists. Because we're referring to going beyond the truthfulness in itself. We understand beyond understanding, if that exists. Logic can also be seen as a study of the methods and the principles used to distinguish good or correct from bad or incorrect. So when we give those statements of saying, oh, girls, oh, boys, oh, men, oh, women, we need to also come to the actual scrutiny to say, is this really true or is it just a statement? There are statements that we have attributed to when we are speaking in a layman's language. Hey, you get that one? As a philosopher, what comes to your mind immediately? What comes to my mind as a philosopher immediately? Majority are dead. But in a layman's language, we say, like, everyone will finish, right? It's so serious. Generalization. We need to be particular. There are some other arguments which are inductive. The ones we have been talking about are deductive arguments, which emphasize on all women, all girls, all presidents, all Africans, right? But where we start with some dogs are vicious. Some dogs are vicious. Poppy is a dog. Therefore, the conclusion will be, we are not very sure under inductive. So if we say some dogs are vicious, Poppy is a dog. Most likely, Poppy is vicious. Are we together? Maybe Poppy is vicious. So there are some words that we use which portray doubt. Those are inductive arguments. They fall under the inductive arguments. Let me not make you confused so much. We are doing early childhood, philosophical foundations of early childhood education. But we need to have a little bit of a test of, we are philosophers. We go there out, and we say, you're not a philosopher. Hey, me, I'm a philosopher. Don't just become part of us by name, my friend. Okay? This is proper philosophical initiation. in the field of ECE or ECD, early childhood development, early childhood education. Hello? So we need to correct bad reasoning and good reasoning in the child. What matters is what we teach the child. One of the philosophers by the name of John Locke stated that the environment in which the child is brought up determines the character of that child later on in life. How I behave is as a result of the environment in which I have been brought up. Do you agree with me? When I look at you, you are a product of the house, the home, the surrounding community that you have lived in. That is why you behave like that. It's as a result of the home in which you have been brought up. That is why you look like that. That is why you walk like that. That's why you speak like that. And that is why your hair is like that. That is why you are putting on those. It's because of the environment in which you have been brought up. If you see around, there are some students who are putting on very short shorts. There are some students who are putting on very long dresses. And there are some students who are putting on average, and other boys ripped jeans and others. It is as a result of the environment in which they have been brought up, and so the foundation matters most. If we want an environment of good morality, then the initial environment matters. Are we together? Yes, last week there was somebody who was saying, I would love to have a husband who is a pastor. What do you think that person, in what kind of an environment has that person been brought up? Generally. Even if we might be deceived, but we are going to automatically say, I think it's because maybe Magolo, they are brought her in a very spiritual home. You understand, right? Or the environment in which she's lived in is kind of churchy-centric, right? Spiritual, uprightness, moral uprightness. Yeah? Okay. That is one has to help one to either choose what is correct, what is wrong. So this also gives us to think that what is wrong can also be chosen, right? Do we agree with that? Can we choose what is wrong? Wisdom. Is it possible to choose what is wrong?
No.
It's not possible. So if I came here naked, would it be correct?
No, but
I chose. Yeah. Is it correct? If I chose to come with a hammer and start hammering everybody here, it's a choice. Okay? People choose what is wrong. And that is why there are other people, a lot of people in prisons. Because they chose. They made a choice. That's why a lot of people are dead, because the wrong choices they made. Right?
But then they think it's good.
There are choices that we make and we know that this is wrong, but I have to do it, right? So and when I do it several times, it becomes a habit. But it's not that it is good in itself, it is bad. But I have chosen to make it look good. Come on. Okay. So logic is seen as a study or the methods and the principles used to distinguish, to differentiate what is good and bad. The aim of logic is to assist man in the attainment of truth. To assist man in the attainment of truth. Because there's analysis, examination, critical thinking, critical reasoning, evaluation of everything that is being done here. And that's what is going to lead me to the truth, attainment of what? Truth. Okay. The knowledge of logic assists man to evaluate lengthy arguments. When we are arguing, not the local argument, that way. Logical arguments. It helps us to avoid illogical fallacies. To avoid logical fallacies. We say the fallacy is an error in reasoning. So if I say, oh, all of them are foolish, you are part of all of them, you are foolish. It helps us to avoid such kind of what? Reasonings, fallacies, errors. That is logic. Okay? Good. Very, very good. Oh, yeah. Any questions so far? Before we go to our fourth branch called ethics. Mafunzo habari kizifu sana. Ethics, as a fourth branch, deals with issues of morality, deals with issues or the way of behaving. We have several times referred to our friends as having bad behavior, right? I don't want to play with him. I don't want to play with that one because he has a bad behavior. She has a bad behavior. I want to be with that friend. He has a good behavior, you know. He lives an exemplary life, right? Have you ever been approached by somebody who said, hey, I want you to be my friend. I like you very much. You are quiet. You don't like you don't like gossiping. You understand? I want you to be my friend. Does morality show outside? Is it possible? Or some of us have gone deceptive Pharisees. That when an incident happens and then you're like, no, you are joking, right? No, that I cannot do that. I'm telling you, that guy nothing for. No. Those are take. Who let no, you are lying. You never give him no, No, they cannot happen. The question was, is it possible to just look at somebody and judge to say, good person, bad person, by their looks, outside looks? It's difficult, right? Okay. Am I forming philosophers here? Are you being formed as philosophers? Okay. Will I be proud to put on my gown when you'll be graduating to say, okay, I have Sula Divel. Now Sula Mene. Okay? I have fine-tuned them. I have modeled them. I have led them into the world of knowingness. Proudly. Hey, quiet one. What are you thinking? You are in your own world. You are in this world. Good. So ethics deals with the theory of morality. Ethics deals with theory of morality. What I want us to do is to have a good background understanding of philosophy, the branches, and we'll move on to the others. Qual Lorena? Why is the bomba? That manas Any questions? I asked you to form a group and I gave my number and I saw nothing like that. Did she? Serious? Am I there? Am I included? Okay, so we're going to use, I'm going to send the PowerPoint. We start on ethics next time that we meet. And then we finish up with aesthetics, then we go to the other point. Thank you so much for your time and listening and your attention. We meet again next week, Friday, same time, same place. Goodbye.